Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going up and down. I'm picking up some of the things that some of my belongings that were left over in the US that were shipped in the container to here. So those are some of the things. I'm still waiting on the guys to put some of the chairs and things like that. I have a bunch of stuff. I had a bunch of stuff in my house in the US. So bit by bit, I mean, at some point I thought I was going to sell them, but eventually now it looks like I'm just going to ship all of them here. So when I get my own full-blown house, I'll be able to just furnish my house from all the things that I had back in the US. So I'll talk to you guys later because we're going to talk about something that is really in my heart, and I feel like why not share that with you. So guys, I finally picked up all my belongings. You can see it there. So this frame is one of my oldest piece of art that I purchased, I think 2012 or 11. Every apartment that I moved in when I was in the US, I always moved with it. Like, that's how much I love this. Like, I love it to the point where it has to come to Cameroon. So because I got a recent license plate, that's just some of the cover up that I was buying just to embellish the license plate. So this guy right here is cleaning my car because white is really something else. So everything just stick on it. So that's what they're working on. So I'm at Le Fouquet. I'm about to go get some food because I'm exhausted and I'm really hungry. But the topic of today that I wanted to touch base on is really hire or not to hire your friends. I'm really big on if you can, I mean, really if you can, don't work with your relatives, don't work with your close friends. Because from experience, I've realized that there's a lot going on when you do work with relatives or close friends. So let me give you my own example, what's currently going on. I hired a I want to say high school friend, even though we started school together when we were in primary school. But I hired a high school friend that I haven't been in touch with for years and years. And in the recent years, I mean, she's been working for me for a year now, a little bit over a year. Okay, so in the recent years we kind of like, you know, caught up on what has been going on with each of us and things like that. So I knew of her back then when we were still like teenagers. Okay, but time have changed, things have evolved, and I've become a different type of woman. And I was really happy to see her over the years and see that she's healthy and she has children and all of these things. And I was really happy for her. And I knew that one of her issues is that she couldn't find a job. So what I did is that since I hired people every year, I figured that the next hiring season, I think that was like about 2019 when we had that conversation, her and I basically told her that I can extend a job offer to you, but just because I know that you have a certification in that area and you don't have experience, but I'm willing to hire you as an intern because she couldn't possibly do the job because she had to learn how to even do the job. So I did hire her as an intern for the first year, and I figured if she gets the expertise, not even the expertise, but just the level of experience that I want her to get, then I would turn her into being a full-time employee, which now she is a full-time employee. So long story short, in the recent couple of months, she's been acting up. Okay, she's been acting up, and I just heard from one of my managers that basically complaining about her treatment, the way I treat her. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get more into details. So basically, she believes that I should have given her the VIP treatment just because we have that, you know, like history, as in we used to be, you know, friends and we used to be classmates. So she should have gotten like a different treatment. And on the opposite side, she feels like I'm treating her like everybody else. First of all, I'm talking about this just because I feel like it's really something that I was avoiding for a long time. I've been avoiding hiring or even working closely with people that are too close to me. But for this specific instance, I was like, you know what, let me give people a chance, not because they are friends, but because I know they have the willingness and the commitment, and they've gone through the process of getting the certification for that specific job. So I did hire her, and I was happy that I hired her because I extended an opportunity to her. But to hear and to see her behavior, because I've been watching her since last year. I've been watching her, and I've just been like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on in her life, and I don't want to get too personal, because whenever I'm in the premises of work, of the office, guess what? It's about business. I don't care if you're my friend, I don't care if you're my sister, it's going to be about business. I do use my emotional side, because when you do work with people are emotions, they respond with emotions. So, but to a certain extent, you still have to, you know, there's a fine line between this is a professional relationship or this is a friendly relationship. And we've actually had really good conversations outside of work, talking about, you know, our personal things, and, you know, without me really going into details of what's going on in my life, because I'm still trying to put that fine line, because I believe that is really important. Because if you don't have a fine line, guess what? The person is going to feel like she can tell you anything, and the person is going to feel like her VIP treatment, which means that if she's going to be late to work, which has been happening a lot, she feels like she shouldn't justify that, you know, that as a friend, I should understand. But the thing that she fails to understand is that as her boss, I'm not going to be understanding that. Okay. So we haven't had a conversation per se, but I've told her that this is going to be professional. I mean, I think we had the conversation before in 2019, before I hired her, and I hired her 2020. We've had a conversation where I told her, when you see me at work, it's all about work. Like, don't ask me about how's your mom, you know, what happened with that, you know, guy that you were dating or something like that. Like, this is not the place for it. So it's just going to be about work. And I thought she really understood that, until my manager basically told me that she raised some of her concerns about how she feels like I'm too hard on her. And my question to you guys is, would you hire your friends, your really close friends? First of all, before I even move on with this story, let me go ahead and tell you what had happened to me before. So when I launched YGL Wedding, which is my brother company, when I launched the store in Cameroon, I had in mind that one of my bestie, that we grew up together, and we were really like sisters. We were not even like friends, we were like sisters. Like, my mom used to treat her like a sister and things like that. So she was supposed to be the one managing my store. She was supposed to be the one managing all the operations of my boutique here in Cameroon. And just when and I had come to Cameroon to set up everything, because I knew I needed a space, I needed to renovate the space and all of these things. And I left her with everything that has to do with the operations. As soon as I turned my back, guess what? She just went MIA. There was no way. I mean, my mom couldn't even get hold of her. And keep in mind that my mom was never meant to be full in the operations of my store, but she ended up pulling up, because I needed somebody to pull up. And my mom was like, you know what, I wasn't aware what was going on with everything, but just tell me exactly what you want me to do, and I'm going to show up for you. So my mom, and I'm so happy and thankful that I have my mom, who really did everything for me to even succeed in Cameroon, because if it wasn't for my mom, it was going to be a chaos. Just because I believe that this really dear friend of mine, who I thought was like a sister to me, was going to be showing up for me. But she ended up not showing up. And I don't even think per se what had happened. All I know is that she felt like, you know, she did not want to work for me or something like that. Like, I'm not really going to go into the specifics. So from that experience that happened in 2017, I just felt like this is it for me, okay? The closest relationship when it comes to working with people that I've had when it comes to relatives is really being a co-founder at the school with my sister. So that would be the closest one when it comes to, have I worked with relatives or have I worked with like friends? I think my sister is the only person that I can tolerate. She's the only person that I can feel like, okay, we're going to be straightforward, because my sister is really direct. If she has something to tell you, she's going to tell you. And I'm the same. If I have something to tell you, you're going to find out for sure. And it's not even easy. Not because it's my sister. It's not easy, really, because it's my sister. So, but I can tolerate that because I think her and I understood that when it comes to work, it's about, you know, being professional, and it's about having the same objective, which is to see the company grow. Okay, so any personal things that we have, personal feelings, we put it on the side. When it comes to friends, I feel like it's really tough because I think sometimes your friends don't want to be your employees, they do want to be your partner. And you putting them in the position of an employee, even though they're grateful that you gave them an opportunity, they still feel like they are below you to a certain extent. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but anyway, I just feel like sharing this. I want to know what you guys think about this matter. Would you hire your friends or your siblings, you know, or your relatives? Just for me finding out that story that she was complaining to the manager that I'm being hard on her, when at the end of the day I feel like I'm actually really gentle with her. There are so many decisions that I take towards her that my sister doesn't agree, that my sister will be like, oh, you're doing this because she's your friend. But I think she's expecting a certain level of treatment that I cannot possibly give her, because at the end of the day, I still need her to show up. I still need her to do her job. But she feels like if she's not showing up to work, if she's absent, I'm supposed to just say it's okay. Guys, I have to get going. The lighting is really off at this point because I'm using my phone, and the darker it gets, the worse the lighting gets. So I have to get to the restaurant. I need to get some food. I'm meeting a friend there, so I will talk to you guys later. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk later, okay? Bye.
Under the moon, then I thank God I'm breathing, and I pray don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds,